I'm filming inside a hotel room now since it's cold and rainy outside and also nighttime. This section will cover from Nantahala Outdoor Center around mile 136 in North Carolina to Hot Springs, North Carolina around mile 274. Nantahala is south of the Smokies, Hot Springs is north of the Smokies. I ended up having to skip around them. Once you go into the Smokies, you have to keep going until you come out. There's not easy in and out places along there. And it takes 6 or 7 days usually for an average hiker like me to get through them. And I needed to meet family and friends north of the Smokies, so I had to skip them. I guess I'll have to go back sometime, some other summer when it's nice out. I did hear that people up there during the time I would have been there had a lot of fog and couldn't see the beautiful views. Also experienced 6 inches of snow, which would have been pretty, but I'm not sure that I had the equipment prepared for it. I wanted to give a special shout out to Kathy Fushi's mom, Karin's grandmother, Sheila, and husband Charlie, who were going to pick me up and get me a hot shower and help me out along the way. It didn't work out since I didn't go into the Smokies, but I wanted to say thank you very much for your offer to do that, and hopefully next time we'll be able to hook up. I'm half an hour uphill out of Nantahala Outdoor Center right now. And I've got 6 miles uphill to go and then 1 mile downhill to Sassafras Gap Shelter. And I don't know if I'll make it. My uphill speed is pretty darn slow, but we'll see. I'm getting a late start. I stayed at a bunkhouse here last night, got laundry, got some internet stuff done, so it took a while. Not a cloud in the sky today, absolutely glorious. Even though there was frost on the ground this morning, it's going to be a beautiful day. It occurred to me a few minutes ago that I had not seen a white blaze since I left Nantahala. White blazes coming into Nantahala, freshly painted and bright. This is the first one I saw just now, confirming I'm on the right trail. And it's kind of dull. Some of these almost blend in and look like some kind of fungus or algae on the tree. But that white blaze right there confirms I'm going the right direction. So onward and upward. So I tried to make myself stop every hour and eat something, even if it's just a few bites, to give me energy to keep going. And there's times I can actually feel the energy coming back into my bloodstream. So this is a trail mix with some cashews, walnuts, dried cranberries, and dried blueberries I got at a grocery store. So that's today's trail food, along with Cliff Bar. Today we got salty caramel toffee and some banana chips. And looks like I picked a good place to stop to do this because about 30 runners from a local track team just went by me, and you can see the trail's pretty narrow. They would not have been able to get by me very easily. I'm so glad that they are gone and ahead of me right now. These trees are all in bud, and it's occurring to me that people coming in the next couple weeks behind me are not going to be able to see as much of these beautiful mountain views because it's through the foliage. I was a little worried coming up Sassafras today because the first 2 water sources marked in my book were non-existent. And then this is the 3rd one, which I really need to go the next couple miles uphill until I can go downhill to the shelter. And I was so happy to find this, flowing with lots of water. Ice cold mountain water. Yeah. Well, can't go through it. Definitely can't go around it. Guess I got to figure out how to go over it. I have been climbing all day and just got to this spot, and I think that I'm looking down at the Nantahala River. I know this is the Nantahala Gorge, and I think I'm looking down at Nantahala Outdoor Center. That's where I stayed last night. All right, I took two layers off, got my sunglasses out, got my sunscreen on, Skylar, in case you're wondering. Ready to go. Well, I hope this wasn't about something important. Tonight I'm at the shelter that is the last one before we get to Fontana Dam Village tomorrow night. I have forgotten the name. I think this is called might be called Cable Rock Shelter. The shelter is way up there on the hill, and there was kind of limited tent sites nearby there. There's some tents scattered up in the woods there. So I have this beautiful spot all to myself down here next to the little creek. Very charming, and I'm going to tell you, it feels a whole lot warmer down here than it does up at the shelter where there's a wind blowing through. Good night. Well, here's Fontana Lake, created by Fontana Dam, and I'm about to hike down the road with some of these people to what's known as the Fontana Hilton, a huge shelter, double-decker that fits 20 people. I'm going to set up a tent nearby. So this is the Fontana Hilton. It's a huge shelter, and we've just seen that this beautiful full orange moon is coming up over the top. Beautiful.
Yeah, does this hurt? Is this the painful kind of hail?
Yeah, that's where the rain was supposed to get.
Just like slush. Yeah, this isn't the painful hail.
Oh, can't think of a place I'd rather be.
So this is still at Fontana Dam, and this is just a few minutes after the hail and rainstorm stopped that I showed a few minutes ago. Here's a pump for the water supply, and here's a solar phone charging station. There's someone charging their phone on it. It doesn't work very well. I had mine sitting there for half an hour and it only went up a few spots, probably because it's raining. You can see the sun is trying to come out now. There's the Bear Secure trash can.
Growing up when they built it, he was the first chef in there.
You got your cup?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah.
I just had to film this. So I just showed some footage of a spread on a picnic table and a previous thru hiker named Cowbell. He does this 2 or 3 different places along the trail. He just brings out all kinds of food. These trail angels just do this out of the goodness of their heart. They don't expect any money. And I had the privilege this morning, this is 3 weeks into my hike, of having my very first honey bun. I've heard people talk about these things. People buy them all the time out here. I've never seen one or had one, and I'll show you why they're so popular out here. They are loaded with 560 calories, 16 grams of fat, 27 grams of sugar. Holy cow. I think my pupils are dilated. And to be honest, I don't think I want to have another one of these. This is the kitchen at Standing Bear. This is a very typical hostel kitchen where there's some dishes and pots provided, stuff to cook or put some refrigerated stuff away, kind of a communal table. And here people are also gathered around a campfire outside. That's where most people have been sitting the whole time. I'm here at the Laughing Heart Hostel in Hot Springs, North Carolina. It's been a great stay. This is a great hostel. I would recommend it to everyone. And here's my pack, putting in the final touches, grabbing my sticks, heading out of town. I'm here in Hot Springs, North Carolina. This is the ATC, or the Hot Springs Welcome Center, but they mostly deal with a lot of hikers, obviously. It's a beautiful tree in bloom. I just walked down the hill from Laughing Lodge Hostel where I stayed last night. It's the first one you come to when you get off the trail on the south end of town. And then the A trail actually goes right through town here. There's the post office where a lot of people get mail drops, and then here is one of the symbols right here, embedded right into the sidewalk. And I'm going to follow the road right here out of town and up into them there hills. Here's the French Broad River. I just hiked along it, and now I've hiked up away from it. And I think this is my last view of it as I turn into the woods. And there is Hot Springs. I stayed in a hostel over here on the edge of the woods last night, hiked right through the town, is where the A trail goes, and then up along the side of the river and up to here and up the hill I go.